Okay, so it seems that we've had a little bit of a situation going on at Offkai and a situation of a stalker kind of going after Vexoria here. Now, if you don't know, Vexoria is a pretty big VTuber, obviously, with 123,000 followers over on Twitter. I haven't really followed her that much. I don't really know too much of what she does, but I've seen her about in the community. Obviously, if you guys saw my last Giga post, she actually responded to that one, giving support to Giga. And, well, now we're talking about her and an experience she had at Offkai, which, again, sounds pretty scary. And some people have also been attacking her for it, which I think is absolutely crazy, because it seems like she's been getting stalked and had a problem with kind of weird people at conventions. Now, let's just play the clip here, because obviously she says here in a tweet, I had a very uncomfortable experience at Offkai. Please, please, please respect creators and their spaces at cons. I've seen too many friends made uncomfy already. And that is a very big situation that happens at conventions often. You know, you have a big person, a big streamer, a big VTuber, whatever, who just wants to go around the convention sometimes and do whatever they want to do, but they end up getting harassed by people and also followed by weirdos around in, places like Offkai, places like these conventions, and, who knows what they want to do. Sometimes it's super innocent and they just want to, stick around and just be in the presence of this person, which, obviously they're not meaning the most kind of harmful thing, but at the same time, it is very weird. And if the person, or if the VTuber, the creator, whatever, is kind of signaling you to, leave and just go, and you're not doing that, I mean, okay, you've kind of crossed a line there, and it's getting very, very weird. But let's get into the clip and let's see what she has to say about it.
There was one incident where I did get followed, which made me uncomfortable, but it was okay because Zolan got me out of that situation pretty quickly because he realized it too, and he was very much like, okay, we need to leave. We need to do some things to get out of here, because that's one thing I will say, guys. Like, if you're ever at these conventions and you see people that you really respect and look up to, please don't follow them. Like, we're people too. We want to shop or we want to talk to people. Like, don't follow, because then it gets really, really creepy. Like, it gets really creepy and it makes people really uncomfortable really quickly. Like, put yourself in their position. Like, let's pretend you're like a celebrity online or whatever, and you're just trying to shop for yourself, and you're being followed and stalked around wherever you're going. Like, you're trying to go to the bathroom and someone follows and waits outside. You're trying to shop for yourself. You're trying to talk to your friends, and people are just stopping like 8 feet away from you every time and watching, and you know that they're watching. It's really uncomfortable. So it's one of those things where please don't do that. Respectfully, let your content creators, let your Oshis be themselves and walk around and have a good time. So don't do that, guys. It's not cool. And then here's the other big no-no too. Like, don't do that. And then, like, if somebody asks you to not do it, continue to do it. Don't do that. Like, as content creators, and if we're all friends and everything, we all talk to each other. Like, it's not like we don't. We are all talking to each other behind the scenes about people that are not good people.
So yeah, that's pretty much the entire clip, obviously talking about the experience over at Offkai. And yeah, it's a very weird one, because obviously, as she says there, there's these people are apparently just following around, but also just, keeping a pretty big distance away from them, almost kind of not to be seen, or just kind of observing them. So this isn't even like a person wanting to try get like an interaction. Obviously, I feel like for some people, obviously some VTubers, some creators are different. Most creators are okay with, getting something signed or getting a picture or whatever, whatever it is that they want. And people are usually okay with that. And people are usually like, okay, yeah, sure. If it's like a quick interaction, I'll sign this. There you go. Off you go. And you both part ways. But I think whenever it's, a person just constantly following you around, staying like a couple of feet away, obviously, as she said, following you, waiting outside the bathroom whenever you go in there, and then following you out there, watching you kind of talk with friends and things, it gets extremely weird. And it's one of the weirdest things you can do to a creator or to, someone who is, popular in the space. And I think especially as well, she mentioned the fact that, even if you're like asked to leave or asked to go and you continue to do it. So that makes me think maybe something like that also happened as well. And obviously, she actually goes on to, kind of explain a little bit more. She says, most folks are super cool, reasonable and understanding, but I had a few that would hover a few feet away and follow me and my friends. And some someone who tracked me through the artist alley far enough the Zolan had to escort me out and duck between booths and get away. Please don't do that. So yeah, apparently there was someone who was following her through the artist alley, which it's very, very weird. And they said, I also want to clarify that I did have a lot of fun at the con too. Lots of fun times with friends, and con staff did a wonderful job too. And obviously, yeah, this is pretty horrible. I mean, you know, I can't imagine how terrible it must be. Obviously, like, as well as a kind of woman as well, it must suck being followed around by these people, because obviously yeah, it's just something that, you know, you have to deal with a daily thing, and you don't really want to experience this, you know, happening at a con as well, which I think is absolutely terrible. And obviously they keep going on. You know, Tiger says here, Vex, I'm so sorry I had to have this experience. I wish people could have enough common sense to not be weird to creators. Like, these things are detrimental and scary. You could get in so much trouble. Like, be normal, dude. It's not that hard at all. I hope you're okay. They said Offkai has some serious issues. Sorry you had to deal with that, but I'm glad it ended it all right. Has happened to our crew and to a few animation folks. We know more than once at cons. He said, I'm so sorry, Vex. I just had to talk about the same thing. It's so unfortunate people feel so entitled to your space and time, which, yeah, it's very, very weird that some people can, you know, and feel like it's okay to do that. And it's a big problem that people actually think it's okay to do that. Now, there's been some people as well that have been absolutely horrible about this situation. For example, this person, which got around about 187,000 views and only 48 likes. That tells you how in the wrong this person was whenever they wrote this. And they said, chat, is it wrong to want to meet your CC at a place like that is made for you to meet your CC? That's, first of all, one of the most terrible, you know, kind of things to say. I think, you know, obviously it's okay to want to meet your favorite content creator or your favorite popular creator or whatever. You know, it's totally fine, but in the setting that is correct, at a meet and greet, maybe, you know, even just an interaction that is quick. And obviously, if they are open to interactions and they've said that they're open to, you know, just a quick, you know, hey, what's up? Or hey, you know, can you sign this? Something like that. And, you know, then leaving and then parting ways. That's a totally different thing from following a CC around a convention for like the entire day. You know, that's two completely different things. There's, you know, one thing, having a quick interaction with them, saying, hey, you know, wanting to meet them. But at the same time, you know, following someone and stalking them and following them into places like bathrooms and things is extremely weird. And obviously they say, is it smart to build a parasocial relationship with your audience and then expect them to not act like they're your friends? Make it clear, CCs, you're not friends with your chat. So again, this is so weird, because a lot of what Vexoria says in her kind of clips here isn't actually the interactions that she's had with people. It's not an actual interaction where she spoke to someone and an interaction where she's kind of exchanged something with someone. It's an interaction where she's being watched all the time. This person isn't going up to them and saying, hey, you know, what's up? You know, or, you know, literally saying anything or trying to get involved in a conversation or trying to get involved with her day out at the con. No, they are literally just stood there watching, which obviously is a completely different thing to wanting to meet your CC. Now, obviously, I think as well, some, you know, content creators aren't comfortable with that, and that's totally fine that they're not comfortable with that. And, you know, people, you know, kind of agree with that. But, you know, obviously, Roosevelt Moo says here, my dude, stalking is not the same as interacting with your viewers. Exactly. Yeah, you know, it's not the same thing. They said, there is no streamer who is without the possibility of overstepping from people who cannot respect boundaries. It's not even exclusive to VTubers or women. Insinuating she deserves feeling disrespected is BS. Which, yeah, is kind of crazy. It said, take brother, stalking or following someone around a convention is unacceptable behavior. Coming up, saying hi and exchanging a few words is one thing, but then that it's no bueno. It should not have it should have not have to be stated for people to not follow you around. They said, that's the thing. It shouldn't, but you should. What, like, I don't really get what this guy's on, but obviously this was one of the main tweets that got me to kind of look at the original tweet from Vexoria, because it's very interesting. But yeah, it seems like some people are just being very weird about it, which is kind of disappointing to see, as, you know, I saw a lot of support in the replies, so I hope that, you know, people go and support Vexoria and, you know, make sure everything's all good. And hopefully, you know, conventions do a little bit more to kind of protect a lot of content creators from this kind of stuff from happening, because who knows what that person could have wanted. As I said, it could have been the most kind of, you know, tame thing. Maybe they just really liked the VTuber and they're a bit socially awkward and they were just like kind of watching. but at the same time, you know, there's also some really, I guess, nefarious people out there who maybe were following them for a completely different reason. But the thing is, as you know, a streamer or as a content creator who has no interactions with them, whatever, you don't know what they're going to do, and it can be quite scary, you know, that kind of unpredictability of what this person might do as they've been following you around for the most of the day. And also, it's just not very nice to be watched either. You know, I feel like that's a pretty horrible thing, especially at a convention where you're just trying to have fun with your friends and do some other stuff as well. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, because again, I thought it was a very weird situation that's gone on, and obviously I hope Vexoria is okay after all of that happening, because again, it's pretty terrible that this stuff still happens to this day, and you know, a lot of conventions don't actually help out with this stuff, but it seems like things did get sorted eventually. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe, also go to GameSubs, use my code Kazza, sorry, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.